is pretty neat. Wow, that's a nice train right there. See if this thing rings. Pretty good. Last Chance Tours? They got a wooden sidewalk that leads to that statue. That's kind of old west. You know, I still find myself fantasizing about walking through Franklin Lloyd Wright's building in San Rafael, California. It was just such an amazing building, and I was able to hang out at night, just use the internet too. It was such a beautiful experience. And it's just such an overprocessed building, you know. It's like eating a Oreo cookie or something. It's a little too much. But this is more natural. Alright, what kind of berry is this? Comes off of this. What is this? Being Montana, I expect that berries tend to be less poisonous, less likely to be poisonous, but I've never seen that one before. I'd at least like to have seen it a few times in different places before I could trust it. I find it amazing to have talked to some homeless people who have walked from one city to the next. I'm talking like maybe 40 or 50 miles, or 30 or 40, something. It's a long distance just to walk it from one city to the next. They claim they've done it, and I believe it's very possible to do. Even as a old 60-year-old homeless person, it's very possible to do. An amazing feat in this day and age. It's really hard to feel sorry for obese beggars. It's a lady or a male back there, I can't tell. Another obese beggar. It looks like somebody from Walmart is... What's he doing with it? Alright, so some guy from Walmart's handing out sheets of paper to these campers. He taped one right to a camper. Shouldn't be a problem for my little car. It is a big problem here. You know, I don't see any bicycle rack here. There's not a bicycle, unless it's on the other side. So Walmart employees putting out that sign, which I have to read later, and a guy argues with them about parking in the parking lot. It's like, you gotta be thankful for Walmart even allowing this. I didn't see any signs about overnight parking, but still. This guy's taking it for granted. I just asked the guy when they had a bicycle rack, and they said 5 years ago. 5 years ago. This is the remnants of an old bicycle rack from 5 years ago. This poor guy, he had to argue with several people, several campers. You just don't want to. If a Walmart employee has to argue with you, that's bad. It's been like a half hour and that Walmart employee is still watching over the parking lot. Well, I was kind of hoping things would be a little more relaxed around here, but in Helena, it's pretty far north. It seems isolated, but it's not isolated enough. You got people begging on every corner around Walmart. You got campers. You got this facial recognition technology being shown off. I've never seen that before on the screen. Walmart, I looked. Walmart doesn't have no overnight parking. I might get away with the center part, but they're on high alert today. And there's a cop parked behind this building. Thinking about walking past that cop car, but I'm like, well, I don't know what this business is across from Walmart. It's a part of a gambling. Let me get up to it. Gambling control division. Sounds like a shady operation to me. I've never seen a shed along the highway at the intersection. I wonder what they find convenient to store there. Guaranteed? You better promise. What is that thing? Right, so maybe nearby Safeway on the side of the road. Oh no. Oh, 30-minute parking right there. I just didn't see any regulation up here though. Getting into residential. Okay, it's 30-minute parking only right there between those two signs. That's it. Then it's unregulated up on this road. I have to see how far it is from the library. But even within a mile, right here, not far from Safeway, I have to deal with the neighbors. I like this fence. Walmart is no longer my first choice. I'll say that much. Around the Safeway probably is better. Kind of cute. Can that be read? It says white Kia, and they're driving a white Kia. Nice description. Alright, so this is the original governor's mansion. There's some spots that I park that I'll feel nervous all night when I hear a car approach. I'm listening and watching to see if they park behind me and shine their lights really bright. I know it's a cop. And I'm nervous about that in some spots that I deem as risky, as higher risk. Whereas other spots, I'll park and I don't worry at all if I hear a car going by, because I am a lot more sure that I'm not gonna get a cop to pull up behind me and check me out. But there are some spots, like the other night, 2 nights ago, I parked right next to a library, right on the road, but it was the courthouse is right across the street too. So it was risky. And so I was more sensitive. My sensitivity goes up for places that I feel like might be more risky. But in this spot, it didn't feel risky to me. It felt like a slam dunk spot to sleep overnight. So any car that pulls up, I just never got nervous about. It's like, what could they possibly want? It would definitely catch me off guard if it really was a cop checking me out. But yeah, I just find it interesting how some nights I don't sleep very well because I feel like I'm taking a bigger risk. And just, yeah, it goes with where you park. My left foot is in sorry shape, and my right foot is it's catching up. The nail is in bad shape here. This is like pus, or like a clear liquid that builds up, and then I have to poke a hole into it to drain it, and then it dries out. They're dirty. They get scaly, very scaly. I also get white or clear pockets of pus that form on the bottom of the foot that I have to poke with a needle to drain. It's in very sorry shape and just getting worse and worse. I've actually sandpapered this because it was getting all scaly, just to get all kinds of dead skin that scales over. It's like bad circulation that's getting to this foot, but also I don't clean it either. Natural? You start out with this, and then you go to... Oh, okay. It's kind of spiky. Alright, so I want to sew a strap onto this weight when I take it in and out of the bottom of my seat here. It's a little long. I don't want to cut this strap right away. Let it just play with it. Sew it on and then just play with it. For the people who tell me to get a Patreon, I'm just going to ask, where's your Patreon? Alright, going straight to the Capitol down Washington. And there's plenty of parking. Plenty. You can park on the side of the road here, unregulated. So a march on to the Capitol is much more pleasant going to the Montana one compared to the Salt Lake City, Utah one. They got such a steep hill in Salt Lake City. This is more just a gradual hill. They can actually sell cars in front of the Capitol. Because that was parked there all night. Selling cars in front of the Capitol, giving away Bibles. That Bible guy wasn't there all night, though. Really? So the bottom doors.
Jeez. Okay.